All I hear is talking, I don't sweat that. If they don't trust me either, I respect that. But she be down the ride, oh, I bet that. Ooh.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is JH. How y'all doing, Postal family? Is everybody good? Is everybody cool? Everybody clean? Are you crisp? Are you feeling irie today? Let's talk. I wanted to piggyback off of the comments, the video when I was talking about David Steiner, and an individual, which is a retired manager, left a comment, and it was one of those comments that kind of wake up call. So I forwarded that comment to a couple of the postmasters and supervisors and managers that I know and asked them how they felt about it. And they gave me some feedback. So we're going to talk about this whole thing. But first, please go to the pinned comment. Also, go to the video description. There are things for the new postal workers that are new to watching me that may be helpful for you. All right, let's get into the video. All right. For those that don't know, my name is JH. Today, I got a message that every postal worker in America needs to hear. The new sheriff in town, which is David Steiner. And some of y'all already talking about this man being a stickler for uniforms, discipline, and cleaning house. But let me tell you, the problem right now is not about the policy he brings in. The problem is who he has to enforce them. And again, with that bombshell comment from the retired USPS manager that you need to hear with your own ears. But we're going to talk about first what's supposedly coming to us. And if y'all, again, before you go and say, hey, Jay, this is, fear mongering, just look him up. All right. He is all about perception. We're hearing chatter that Steiner is going to start cracking down on uniforms. Some of you have gotten these stand-up talks already, and if that sounds like it's a small thing, then you're missing the big picture. So right now, uniforms, it is what it is. But he was at Waste Management, where he was a CEO, I believe, for over a decade, operations, and workers had to follow strict uniform codes, not just because of safety, but because of the imagery. That company ended up understanding one thing: when your employees are out in public, that is the brand, the branding. They're your trust factor. If you ever look at Brown, their socks match with their shoes, right? Look at FedEx. Sounds familiar? USPS have back in the days uniform regulations forever. The problem was enforcement, because a lot of people that walk around sloppy, selective, and inconsistent. Now the picture, this man stepping in, seeing employees in Crocs and hoodies, no name badges, and thinking this is what's wrong with the Postal Service. Boom. First step, uniform crackdown. I wear hoodies. I understand it. But again, look at the companies that he came from. Here's the little thing. It's not just about the uniform. It's about control. If you don't think that's the start of something bigger, micromanaging, discipline, write-ups for perception, for optics, then you're not paying attention. And so we're going to jump in to where this gentleman spoke about certain things. The policies don't change the Postal Service. People do. And most of the people in charge are not built for success. They're just not. They're not built for success. I'm going to read this comment that I got from a newly retired manager, and I want you to hear this straight. As a newly retired manager, I'm going to let craft employees hear in on a little secret. Even if Steiner is a genius at operations, the only thing he can do is create policies. Once he does that, local management will have to implement those policies. And as I have said on this channel before, only about 20% of supervisors, managers are interested in being successful. The other 80% are interested in doing as little as possible, which is why they became managers, and half of that are incapable of managing. So what you will see is the usual. Lots of changes that don't make sense. Supervisors and managers issuing discipline to cover up for their lack of leadership. And massive operational slowdowns across the nation as managers attempt to implement the new Postmaster General's policies using a workforce that has historically been mistreated and underpaid. Let that sink in. 20% of USPS supervisors give a damn. The rest are either lazy, clueless, or both. So it doesn't matter how much of a genius Steiner might be, his policies are going to hit the ground in the hands of people who can't lead. Don't want to lead, and sure as hell aren't thinking about your well-being. So this is one of those things that should be a wake-up call for managers as well, because they need to see what's actually coming. So me personally, I keep telling y'all what's going to happen. So let me just give a prediction. The new uniform policy enforcement, not because they care about professionalism, but because it's something that they can enforce, something that is visible. Y'all have been took your shirts in. That's a pain in the ass when you got carriers. There's going to be more write-ups, not for real violations, but to cover up for weak managers who don't know how to lead or solve problems. They got this whole new thing about welcome packages. We're going to talk about that. Some of y'all like, what the hell is that? They're going to be slower operations. Why? Because change takes competence. And most of these managers were never trained to think, just to react. They just are reactionary. And you, the worker, whether you're a mail handler, a clerk, a carrier, RCA, PSC, CCA, PTF, you're going to feel the squeeze from the top down. They don't barely give us raises. We don't get bonuses. They don't give us thank yous. Just more pressure and less understanding. They're going to tell us some things that they don't even believe. That's kind of what they do. And then try to make it make sense to them. They try to, because they're convinced. They sit in these meetings and they get convinced. But let me say this loud and clear. People need to prepare for what is coming. July 1st. He is walking in the door. This is not just about wearing the right uniform, although some people at the plants, they're just ridiculous. This is about covering your ass, about documenting everything and understanding the playbook. Somebody wrote yesterday in my comments about people need to understand the M41, M39, M47, AK40. Y'all know what I'm saying? Because whether these policies hit the floor and incompetent, 80% start messing up. You are going to be their scapegoat. When they can't understand it, and oh, wow, you know, this person didn't do it right. They will issue discipline to look like they're following orders. They'll shift the blame. They'll lie. And if you're not ready, they're going to get swept up into it. Please start logging your interactions. Document everything. Take photos. I said it. Keep track of orders that don't make sense, because when the blame starts rolling downhill, it's going to roll fast. Y'all need to cover your backside, cover your ass. There's a lot of times that I said I've listened to managers getting told, discipline, discipline, discipline. Steiner is coming. And he may bring big changes like the joy. But if you think a policy is going to stop or fix broken leadership at the bottom, then you have never worked under, the most incompetent people when it's a holiday season. Again, this isn't about fear. This is about facts. For those that are bums, get your uniform straight, stay sharp. Don't give them a reason to target you, because the real war isn't just between Kraft and Steiner. It's between you, your own lazy ass leadership, the unions that won't enforce certain rules. A lot of people that don't know how to implement change without screwing everybody below them. Stay aware of your surroundings. Stay armed with knowledge. I always say why, but why, but why? And if you don't speak up now, you will be the next one that they try to silence. You already know. This is JH, and I can only share information as it comes at me. That one comment that gentleman shared with me, I had to try to elaborate off of it because it made sense. And when things make sense, you try to deliver that. Now, I'm sure no matter what he wrote there, that he had to abide by rules and regulations that were passed down from the seniors and the people up top. I got friends that are in management that say, man, I don't know why they're starting to do this, but this is what they do. Understand this, and I need you all to understand this from a human side. This is me. This is my job. This is what my directive is. I may give them a little feedback, but at the end of the day, I have to take care of home. And so long as I give the directive of what my job is, I've done my job. So when it gets passed down to people below them, sometimes they don't understand what the people up top want. And sometimes the people up top don't understand what they want. But each person is basically trying to cover their job so they can take care of home, no matter how much it makes sense to them. That's human nature. Your job is to come and do your work, do it to the best of your ability, and try to keep the people's eyes off of you. And I'm only saying this, and I'm not sugarcoating it, but I'm not really trying to put the blame game. But there are so many people that I hear about. Like I told y'all, my god brother is a plant manager at a place, and he tells me about things that go on. So it's not just at my place, it's all over. People disappearing, people playing, oh man, can you punch me in? They go and they disappear. They're not in the building. The time cards, everything. The carriers that go in. They crack down on that a lot, where they disappear. And somebody wrote in the comments yesterday, 3-hour lunches. All that stuff has gone out the window. There's going to be more of that. They just have not figured out a way to push that going on inside of a plant. But they do. I did mention, I think I did, that I know for a fact that my plant that they're going to be having, or they do have, or they might already have, the postal inspectors that are inside the plant working there and the parking lots at night, just because of the silliness. Like if you're at work, you're supposed to be working, and on your lunch break, go do your lunch. But there's people in the parking lots that are out there, smoking and doing their thing. But look, if that's your thing and you want to smoke, great. But on the postal property, there's clear signs that say no, illegal substances on the property. And then when they caught, man, just stop bringing eyes to us. That's the selfish nature that we have as human beings. Now then, they leave in the middle of the, like when their shift is over, 5:30 in the morning, you go and you look in the parking lot, there's vodka bottles. There's weed blunts left on it. Like, what? Come on, man. It's almost like, yeah, we got away with it. Here's my residue. Here, I left my mark. Fuck this place. Just understand, the people that do that and that act like they don't care, they're going to get you. And the people that are not bothered by that statement are the people that come to work to do work. You understand what I'm saying? The image that we have sucks. And it's not just because of Jay. It's because of other things that are going on. Look at the big picture. Don't look at me saying it directly to you unless it applies to you. This is JH. Again, the more information I get about Mr. Steiner, I'll try to share it the best way I can. I hope this made sense. I'm out.